Good day, scholars! Today we are going to learn some postulates on lines and planes. By this time, you probably have learned a lot about systems in math or in other areas of life. In geometry, we will be using the axiomatic system most of the time. Here are some of the terms that you will be using in this system. First, we have the undefined terms. Ironic as it may sound, let us define what undefined terms mean. Undefined terms are terms that are already in their most basic form. We describe them using examples. One of the undefined terms in geometry is the point. A point has no size, no thickness, no length, nor width. It basically refers to an exact location. Another undefined term is a line. A line has an infinite length but has no width nor thickness. And thirdly, we have the plane. A plane has infinite length and width but has no thickness. Another part of the axiomatic system is definitions. Definitions are statements that give meaning to a word or phrase. We only use either undefined terms or terms that have been previously defined to come up with good definitions. Let's say we want to define collinear points and non-collinear points. Collinear points are points that lie on the same line, whereas non-collinear points do not lie on the same line. Did you notice how we use the undefined terms points and lines in this definition? Let us also define coplanar and non-coplanar points. Coplanar points are points that lie on the same plane. For example, we have points T, S, and R. On the other hand, non-coplanar points are points that are not in the same plane. For instance, points T and U. Again, in the definition, we use the undefined terms points and planes. Axioms or postulates are another part of the axiomatic system. They are statements that are accepted as true even without proof. Now, we always mention in our classes that we do not blindly believe things unless they are proven. However, to prove something, a theorem for instance, we need another theorem as a supporting reason. But what about the very first theorem? We would need to have at least a statement to prove it, and that statement is something that doesn't need to be proven. Statements of that nature are called axioms or postulates. An example of a postulate is the line postulate. It states that for every two different points, there is exactly one line that contains both points. A way of illustrating this is when two people tie a string on two cans and hold each of them well apart. The two cans could represent the point, and there is exactly one line, the string, that contains them. Another postulate is the plane postulate. It states that any three points lie in at least one plane, and any three non-collinear points lie in exactly one plane. To illustrate that, we can think of at least three people that are on the same floor. The people could illustrate the points, and the floor could illustrate the plane that contains them. Aside from undefined terms, postulates, and definitions, theorems are also a part of the axiomatic system. They are statements that require a proof to be accepted as true. An example of a theorem is the line intersection theorem. It states that if two lines intersect, then their intersection contains exactly one point. You can illustrate that using two roads that intersect at one point. The lines are represented by the roads, and the point of their intersection represents the point.